Bring the Happy is a project about happiness.
Memory 1690. I'm always happy me. Life's too short not to be. 10 out of 10.
We're very interested in work that allows people to participate, really, no matter who they are, and work that is highly sort of tactile and interactive, and that allows all types of people, and even people who aren't necessarily in the same place that we are, making the work, to participate and be part of the work, and not just watch it, but actually become part of the work itself and really feel like they own it and it's part of them, I suppose.
He'd fallen in love with a beautiful Italian woman, and to his great fortune, she'd loved him back. And they got married, and they returned to the small village where she'd grown up as a child. I should like to describe her. She was raven-haired. She had olive skin that would just melt the heart. She had sea green eyes. She had the body of a dancer, and in all she put Sophia Loren in the shade. On one occasion, an artist begged to paint her, and the portrait of her hung in the hallway of the small villa where they lived. And visitors new to him and his wife would always inquire without exception as to her identity. And he'd always reply with unashamed joy, "That woman is my wife."
We take over shop space or anywhere really, in a city or a town or wherever we are doing the project. And in that place we build a giant map, and we ask people to come in and to mark onto the map their moments or memories of happiness. So for each memory we ask them to tell us what it is, how happy it made them from 1 to 10, and then where it took place. And then each memory then gets marked onto this giant map with a physical rod, the height of which is that 1 to 10 happiness rating. So a 1's about that big and a 10's about that big, I think. And so gradually over time, we sort of build this big three-dimensional landscape of sort of people's memories in a place. And so we run our installation for as long as we can, normally sort of like a few weeks or a month. And then at the end of that, we take all the memories that we've been given, and we work with a band called Hope and Social, and we transform them into a show, which is kind of the live sort of celebration and retelling of the stories. And every city or place that we visit, we layer their new stories on top. So this performance or show is a constantly evolving and growing thing.
My first kiss. I was 13. It happened right round the corner from my house, and I'd fancied him for ages, and he was walking me home. And I knew I had to get the kiss in before I turned the corner, otherwise my sister would see me and she'd tell on me. He was called Jason, and he always had this weird little crust at the side of his mouth. And actually, looking back and thinking about it, he was a little bit weird and gross, but I was 13, so I went for it, and I had a kiss.
We try and run it as a cabaret, so people have tables and we give people some wine, and there's dancing in the show and singing, and people have sparklers and glow sticks. We've been drawn a lot to landscapes recently, so we've done a whole series of works on sort of urban landscapes, but then more recently we've done rural and coastal landscapes, where we've done a lot of work by and sometimes in the sea, where we've worked with sort of fishing communities, and in one case up in Morecambe we worked with the Queen's official last sand pilot, who's the official guide to the sands of Morecambe Bay, and we spent a year with him sort of filming him, and created an abstract sound piece that came out of that, which is supposed to be experienced on a 4-hour walk across Morecambe Bay, guided by him. And we've also created more structural work, so we have a piece that involves a nautical buoy that we float out at sea that people can interact with by text message. And we're currently moving out from sort of the coastal work and into sort of digital landscapes now, and we're looking at creating a series of works using people's technology that they own, so using their own handsets and their own sort of cities to retell stories that they can participate in.